All right, next thing I want to talk about is this part over here that I failed to mention. This is the location of a vasectomy. Notice the vasectomy is where you actually cut a piece of the vas deferens off. That's what's called a vasectomy. And if you cut this off, right, is the sperm going to be able to go from the epididymis over to the ejaculatory duct? And the answer is no, right? This is a process that's typically used in sterilization. And one of your questions is probably, what's going to happen to all this sperm? Isn't the male going to lose the sperm? And the answer is yes, but males produce about 360 million sperm per ejaculate, right? So it's not the end of the world because males are, because of the amount of sperm that's produced per ejaculate, right? One other thing I want to point out is this part of the reproductive system called the seminal vesicles. Remember, vesicle means sac, right? And the seminal vesicles, if you look at the name of it, it produces semen, right? So if the person were to get a vasectomy and they ejaculated, would they still be able to ejaculate some fluid out? And the answer is yes. They still produce the semen, but there's no sperm inside that semen, right? The next thing I want to point out is this gland over here in pink called the Cowper's gland, also known as the bulbourethral gland. Let's see if I have it written down for you. Right over here, bulbourethral gland, right? And the bulbourethral gland secretes alkaline fluid. Notice the bulbourethral gland will secrete some alkaline fluid into the membranous urethra during it's essentially the pre-ejaculate. Right before a guy is ready to ejaculate, right, there is some alkaline fluid that is ejaculated, that is produced by the Cowper's gland right at the tip of the penis. You ever notice for males, if you're ever around the pre-ejaculatory stage, right before you're about to get off, right, there's some fluid at the tip of the penis. Well, that fluid is actually secreted by the Cowper's gland, and it's actually alkaline fluid. Why do you think this fluid is alkaline, meaning it's basic? Well, it turns out that this alkaline fluid will neutralize anything that is acidic that goes to the urethra. And what do you think is acidic that goes to the urethra? Well, it's the urine, right? Remember, in the urinary system, what was in the urine? Remember, there was uric acid, right, which is the waste product of nucleic acids, right? And there's some urea, and they're pretty acidic, right? So we want to neutralize that with the alkaline fluid from the Cowper's gland or the bulbourethral gland before we push the sperm through. Otherwise, the sperm and the semen, well, more specifically the sperm, that's going to die if there's no alkaline fluid to initially neutralize the uric acid from the urine. Right, and I have it written down for you over here. Cowper's glands. 2 tiny glands that secrete sticky alkaline fluid at arousal initiation to neutralize any acidic urine so sperm don't die. All right. So it would help a lot, again, to make sure you understand these names and these functions, and definitely utilize a 3D model to make sure you see these portions of the male reproductive system.